Hi, I'm Dylan Akira Adler, and I would put umeboshi in my immigrant jam. Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Another beautiful, sunny, hot-ass motherfucking day in New York City. We are back at Immigrant Jam affiliates headquarters space station.
Yes.
It's an amazing day. I'm so excited. My guest today is one of my favorite people in the city, one of my favorite comedians, the funniest musical comedy performance genius. He has an album coming out on September 23rd with Kelly Bachman called Rape Victims Are Horny 2. It's Mr. Dylan Adler.
Oh, Lucie, thank you so much for saying that.
You're the best.
I think so highly of you. So thank you very much. That means a lot. And I'm happy to be here.
Oh, thank you. Dylan, I met you a few years ago through Frigid.
Yeah, through the Frigid Festival.
That's right. And I fell in love with you. You're amazing. You're so funny. Your comedy is hilarious and also touching and also silly, which I love. Yeah. And you're an amazing singer and you're an amazing musician and you're such a positive, bright light whenever you appear anywhere.
Tell that to my parents.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
And you are from the West Coast.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yes. So I grew up in San Rafael, which is just kind of outside of San Francisco. And my parents, my mom, I'm biracial. My mom is Japanese and my dad is Jewish.
What?
I know. And they met at UC Berkeley reffing volleyball.
Whoa.
And they eloped. They fell in love. And
volleyball is a sexy sport.
They were both reffing volleyball and reffing it.
Wow.
So
wait, volleyball has two refs?
I guess. I don't really know.
That's good matchmaking.
I know, right? It's like if you're reffing volleyball and you're not fucking the other ref, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
But my mom was like a senior. My dad was a freshman, cougar. No, but she was like, who is this self-righteous white dude who thinks he can tell me exactly who is this schlubby Jew who's telling me who thinks he can. But then they went on a date and they got together.
And was your mom born here or in Japan?
She was born in Japan. So she was born in Tokyo and she had a sister. They both had asthma. So her parents decided to move her to California to grow up. But the interesting thing is my Japanese grandma, my Obachan, grew up in California.
Oh, wow.
So her family grew up here in California and experienced internment. Right. And my grandpa's family, he grew up because my grandpa was about to fight in World War II. He was going to be a kamikaze pilot.
Whoa.
When he was 14. And my Obachan's family was in California being interned. So it was just like very, very crazy.
So they went back to Japan because of that experience.
I'm not sure when they went back to Japan, but I know that my Obachan's family did go back to Japan because eventually that's how my grandpa and grandma met each other in Tokyo.
And Obachan means grandma?
Obachan means grandma. Oji-chan means grandpa.
Oji-chan?
Oji-chan.
Oji-chan.
Yeah.
Do you speak Japanese?
I don't. I know more Spanish than Japanese. Like my mom doesn't really speak Japanese because her parents didn't really teach. She didn't go to Japanese Sunday school, which a lot of kids go to learn to keep up Japanese. So she didn't really know Japanese that well, but she could understand it. So she didn't really teach me and my brother Japanese.
So she was a kid when they moved back to the States, basically.
Yes. So she was literally 1 year old. So she pretty much grew up completely in California.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that something that like bums you out, or is it painful, or does it make you sad?
It
that
makes
you
me
can't...
a little bit sad because I did like as a kid. I would like put on a kimono and I would like read Japanese books and I would be like, Mom, teach me Japanese. She'd be like, you want to learn Japanese? Okay. And so she would like set aside one day for us to learn Japanese and we'd be like, oh, cool. And then she'd just like forget and not bring it up again. I'm like, hey, why don't we? But yeah, part of me, I've also never been out of the country. I've never been to Japan.
You've never been outside of the U.S.?
No, I haven't.
Wow.
And I really want to go so bad. We were going to go during 2020, but But
yeah. What happened?
Yeah, it was just like a little thing. But I've always wanted to go.
You still have family there?
We do. Family that I've never met.
Wow. I think it's so weird because my mom's Romanian.
Oh,
And she didn't teach us Romanian. And my grandmother, my Oma, which we called her, which is the German way to say Oma, but my grandma had a thick accent, thick Romanian accent. And for me, like, I always feel sad because I'm like, it's part of me.
Yeah.
And I did grow up with the culture and
Same.
the food
and culture and the food and the...
But then you feel like I feel like when I meet other Romanians, I'm like, hey! And they're like, then they start speaking Romanian and I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like, well... You're not really one of us, sorry. Like, but I am.
Yeah. Or sometimes I'll meet white people who speak better Japanese than me, and I'm like, bitch. So then there's that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. My dad always says if like he could have one like technology that he could invent, it would be like a chip that gets implanted in you. You can speak all languages. You know?
That'd be really cool.
That'd be amazing. But language is such an important way to access your roots and your culture. And I think like I always feel so bad also for the like Hispanic kids who don't speak Spanish and almost like the other people that do give them like it's like you're not as much part of this as us,
exactly. Totally.
And it's almost like you feel like cut off, right? A little bit. Also just being also not speaking Japanese and also being biracial a little bit. It's like kind of hard to like, I've like in adulthood started to try to navigate my identity as like, because there was a feeling, I grew up in a predominantly like white city in space. So I was seen as like, I was seen as just Asian. No one could tell that I was mixed, actually. Yeah. But then I was like discovering a little bit. But I would go to like more insular Asian communities and also feel a little bit like, oh, I'm not completely like Japanese. Yeah. But so it's a cross-cultural
thing. Yeah. I was a little bit but I've met a lot of other like biracial kids, like literal, like a lot of half Japanese, half Jewish, like they call it like Jupanese community.
Really?
Yes, it's so common.
Oh, wow.
It's
Jupanese.
I don't know, somehow like just Jews can't help themselves. They just love it's so funny because I've gone to like Joel Kim Booster's shows and it's like a bunch of hot Asians and also gay Jews. It's like I don't know what it is. Like it's like there is, and like I know so many other like Jewish Asian mixed families, so it is a very common thing. But I met a lot of other mixed race Asians who I really love and have been able to like navigate.
That's like a community,
yeah, totally.
But so did you grow up with Jewish stuff?
A little bit, like
life?
A little like culture. Jewish stuff. I grew up like culturally Jewish, but I never had a bar mitzvah, and I wanted.
Me neither.
Yeah. But my dad's family fled Poland and Ukraine from the pogroms, like 1800s. But I think. Yeah, we grew up like culturally Jewish. We'd celebrate Hanukkah and Passover.
Oh, wow.
And I went to so many bar mitzvahs because our last name was Adler, and people were like, oh, Adler, we'll invite them to the
So any Adler can come in.
Yeah.
All the Adlers.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Did your dad speak Polish?
No, no, I don't. My grandpa doesn't speak Polish even,
Right.
so it's
There's
like I think
one
his.
more. Yeah,
there's
yeah,
like
yeah.
one that
Yeah.
like that. I think my grandpa's dad probably spoke Polish.
So do you like identify as Jewish?
I identify as like I like half Jewish, half Asian. I
Right.
guess. Yeah.
So you identify more with the like with not being able to put it in a box than choosing one.
Sure.
Kind of?
Yeah, I guess so.
I think
Yeah.
that that's like such a common thing that I hear from people, especially that I talk to on the podcast, that, this like cross-cultural thing. It's like, I don't know if you had that experience as a kid, but I really wanted to fit in and stuff. And I was like so sad that I didn't fit in. And then at some point you just give up and you're like, the not fitting in is where I fit in.
Exactly. And now it's like kind of our culture has like reached a point where it's like it's really kind of cool to
That's true.
to sell it. And I was like, I wish I grew up with like fucking BTS and like when it's like because like a lot of like people who were like mixed race, like they kind of actually had to like tone it down or like hide, like a lot of people who like had to like tone down their like celebrating their heritage and the Asian heritage or like their wherever they came from. And so it's been like interesting kind of navigating that recently.
Well, I think it's funny that for a lot of people, it like makes them like it irritates them if they can't put you in a box, right?
Sure,
and now the culture is kind of changing towards like, no, actually, what's cool is not being in a box.
Yeah.
At least here, I'm sure that in other places.
Oh my God, I'm talking about like our bubble of like
we're talking about New York,
but I'm sure if you go 5 miles outside of here, it's not cool.
Or like just like down the hallway.
Or just down the hallway, actually. Yeah. It's only cool in this podcast space.
Only this podcast. So were you like bullied and stuff? Because you said it was all white and
yes. I was bullied. I think I was bullied for a combination of both being Asian and gay and annoying. And it was the three that really tipped it over the scale of being bullied. In high school, I would like wear a backpack that was half my body weight that always smelled like a banana.
Nice.
And I would just like ask a lot of questions in class. Like I would like spend the longest. Everyone had to wait for the last kid to finish the test, and I was always the last kid to finish the test.
That's so cute.
So I know, but I was like bullied for that, I guess, or just like trying hard. And also, a lot like the kids bullying me were like white kids and like homophobic white kids too. And so I felt like there was like definitely racial and homophobic slurs.
So you were out in high school?
No, but I wasn't out, but I was like kind of I was like more femme.
Right.
So like I was like people would like say that to me and like I knew I was, but I like wouldn't like I wasn't out yet.
Right.
Yeah.
And then but my other question is, why did your backpack smell like a banana?
Because
there was always a banana?
There was always a banana there.
So you never ate the banana, you just kept it in there?
Like sometimes you have a banana there and you're like, wait, it smells, oh my God, there's been a banana here this whole time, and you take it out, but it still like
and
smells like a
then you replace
banana.
the banana.
Yeah.
Just because that's your thing now.
You replace the banana just because I would use it as a dildo. No, but
because it's like a dick.
Because it's a dick when you freeze it. It just, but no, even if you took the banana out, it just smelled like a banana still.
Have you ever gotten a frozen chocolate banana at Ray's candy store in Avenue
No,
A?
but
it's fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. I know this is not what we're here to talk about, but I was in there once and I was like, I don't want to get like ice cream, and I was like, ooh, a frozen chocolate banana.
Yeah.
They get out a frozen banana and stick it in chocolate and give it to you, and it looks like, and like,
oh my God,
I couldn't walk down the street with it. I had to throw it away. I was getting harassed. People were like, what the fuck is that? Like homeless people were like, ha ha.
Oh my God.
Holding this fucking,
You have to go to the bathroom and eat it in private. That's funny.
It's like a prank.
Yeah.
So that's just a little New York fact for you.
Wait,
people.
when I was still in the closet, we were out the Castro, a very gay neighborhood in San Francisco. They had like a cookie shop, but the cookies were shaped like dicks. And I was like, I'll get a dick, I guess. And like I was like, oh my God. I like just deep throated it. I'm like still in the closet. I'm like, wow. I was really gay. But
see, there you go. Because I've walked by those places.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, it's a cute idea, but
yeah.
what's really the point of that?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
who really
yeah,
gets
yeah.
happy?
Totally.
Totally.
So yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now it's for the simple pleasures when you're not, enjoying the real thing yet. Maybe.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know. So your family and stuff like that were cool when you came out?
Yeah, I was really fortunate that like we grew up in like kind of a liberal space, so my mom and dad were accepting, and they also we shared Wi-Fi, so they would see the gay porn I was looking up. So that I feel like they were just kind of waiting for it, honestly. But I didn't come out to my high school because it was pretty homophobic. I just came out to my close friends. But kind of a interesting story, during college, we came out to pretty much everyone except our Ojichan and Obachan, because we were like, well, do they even know what being gay is?
And you're saying we because you have a twin.
My God, yeah.
We forgot to say that.
Identical gay twin brother.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so he's the first person I came out to. I was like, I'm gay, and he was like, same.
Oh my God.
I was like, okay, so I guess no, actually the way we came out, I was like, most porn I watch is of guys. He was like, yeah, me too. So I was like, okay, well, we're gay, and I guess we have to come out to everyone. So we did like a coming out tour to everyone except our Ojichan and Obachan.
Okay.
And we were like, our Obachan came to our graduations, and my brother at the time had a boyfriend, and we were all like gonna get together, and we were like, oh my God, we haven't come out to Obachan yet. I guess we have to do it. So my mom pulled her aside and said, Kiko, Max, and Dylan are gay. And at first she said something in Japanese to try to like deflect the situation. But then like I think she came around to saying something like, it's this generation. And, I think, and then, we were like, oh, Bachan, we love you. And then she said, I love you back to us. And then our mom was like, she never said that to me before. What the fuck? I love you. I like puss. No, just kidding. But it was like really, we didn't know how she'd respond. We didn't like my mom and my mom, like they never brought up gayness with our Ojichan and Obachan in their life. So we were really pleasantly surprised.
That's scary though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, scary.
Do you think that that experience of carrying that around with you and that fear, and then, like the bravery of telling people and all of that is something that, is something that made you sort of less afraid of not fitting in and less afraid of like taking risks
100%.
in life and stuff?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, exactly. I think the feeling of always kind of feeling a little on the outside and made when I went into like comedy spaces and shit and didn't like feel like oh, I'm not one of the boys, I'm not one of this group. I was like kind of like, fuck it, I'm just gonna be crazy and do my shit and like kind of like coming hot,
Yeah.
So I think it definitely influenced the way I go about doing like comedy and like what I taking a risk that I like to do and shit.
Were you singing and performing always?
Yeah,
like as
totally.
a kid already?
I was as a little kid, but then when I got into middle school, I think I kind of tried to repress that side a little bit because like I didn't want to seem gay or seem, so I you
were like, football team.
Exactly. Really? I was like, frisbee. No,
hockey sack.
Exactly. Curling. No,
Let's just do that for the next half an hour.
That's what this podcast is all
Ice
about.
skating.
Yeah, but so I kind of repressed that side until I discovered comedy when I was in college and really got back into it and fell in love with it.
So you went to college for something else at first?
I went to college for music composition.
Oh, okay. But you were going to be in the
arts. Yeah. The arts.
You weren't like trying to be a lawyer.
No. Yeah. And I'm actually fortunate because a lot of Asian parents will not let their kids pursue the arts, but my mom was always like very encouraging of us to pursue, I wanted to do music composition. She's like,
pursue being poor.
To pursue making not a living. And yeah, so me and my brother were pretty lucky because my brother pursued oboe. I pursued music composition in school. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oboe?
Yeah, oboe.
That's like, oboe. Yeah, oboe. Okay, like from Star Wars. Hello. Yeah. That's a bit like
niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
He started playing clarinet in the band in middle school, and then his teacher was like, you should try the oboe, and he excelled at it. So he then started taking lessons, and he's never stopped.
Wow, the oboe. I love it. What do your parents do?
My mom works in sales, so she kind of bopped around from job to job forever. She's never held down a job for more than 5 years. I think she liked to bop around. That. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad is a doctor. He's a doctor and
what kind?
Internal medicine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's really great to have.
I know exactly. So I'm always like, so I have this mole. Yeah, basically. It was good. It's good to have that. And our extended family, our Ojichan and Obachan, our cousins are like, so Josh, I have this kind of thing right here. And it's just a free consultation whenever we visit our family.
So, yeah, that's kind of unusual because especially your dad being a doctor, you would think that he would want you guys to be doctors. Or maybe not. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe he's like, do not do this.
No, I think I was lucky too that he was very pursue what you want to pursue, when early on in life.
What a concept that your parents just want you to be happy.
I know.
Yeah,
right? I'm seriously, we're very lucky, me and my brother, about not pressuring us to be a lawyer or doctor, but he was, I think it's because his dad didn't really pressure him to do, what to pursue a certain path. And also my Ojichan and Obachan, I don't think pressured my mom to do my Ojichan and Obachan were pretty chill when it came to raising my mom. My mom partied in high school and would do, and then my Ojichan and Obachan were just good, get good grades, just do what you do. And so yeah, they were surprisingly chill.
That is surprising because usually also, all the Japanese kids that I grew up with had the strictest parents out of everybody.
Yeah, my mom was strict, and also a little Japanese thing she did force us to do piano the first lesson. She taught me pianos by ear, a song that she knew because she learned from her Obachan, and I was like, I already know piano, I don't need lessons. But then we eventually fell in love with it and did it. But she was a little strict, but open in other ways that by allowing us to pursue creative arts. And she got a little more lenient with us when we were when we left the nest and when we were in college.
I guess they also chose to live in a more open liberal part of the country anyway, right?
Exactly.
So they wouldn't have lived there if they weren't those types of people, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
What else did you grow up with that was Japanese?
I grew up with a lot of Japanese food. My mom is an amazing cook. We make our own sushi, which we love.
So nice.
And I say
and you put some challah in it.
We put and we put cream cheese and lox in it. No, seriously, we do put cream cheese sometimes in our. And I was dubious at first, but it's pretty good.
Wait, I've had that though.
Yeah, it's a common thing. You put cream cheese in it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool that, I think that's like what's so singular about this country, with all the horrible shit and all the, faults and everything. But I don't know many other countries where like people come together and both sort of like fuse their cultures, and then you were like, it's a Japanese woman with a Jewish husband who is also, they're both American, but then there's like Polish and there's all this stuff in there.
Yeah. I want to tell a funny story. One time we were having Passover Seder during, we were like talking about Jewish history and doing rituals. And my mom came in like, can we talk about something else? She was like, this is a downer. Oh my God. It's funny.
That's great.
So it's a bunch of cultural.
She's like, when can we talk about Japanese internment?
Exactly. No, she was honestly like, can we just talk about that? She was like, can we talk about a Game of Thrones? Because I want to talk about she just wanted to talk about the TV shows we were watching.
I love your mom. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, she's
Are you
funny.
good friends with your parents?
I wouldn't say we're friends, but I really do love my parents. We call each other every week to like check in. And they want to know what's going on with our life.
And they watch your comedy or have seen you live?
They've seen my comedy.
Yeah.
And, my mom will pitch me jokes all the time.
Oh, my God.
She
I
will
love
pitch
it. Like
me
what?
Jokes. She'll be like, I have a song about like being bullied in high school, and I have a song like, I hope my bully chokes on 1,000 chodes, and she was like, Dylan, because they might censor it if you do it on late night, you should be choke on 1,000 toads. And it'll be the same. I'm like, Mom, no one will think I'm saying chode if I say toad. Not a lot of people even know what chode is.
That's true. Can you explain it for the people
listening? A chode
listening?
is a penis that is wider than it is long.
Okay, and also I didn't know it meant that. I just thought it meant penis.
No, yeah,
Mike, did you know that?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, some people don't know
I just thought it was penis.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. But a lot of people, especially the older generation, don't know. I remember I was doing it.
Thanks, Dylan.
I know. No, I'm not saying you're the old.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. No, I was saying.
Could be your mother. Let's be real.
No. I'm not saying. I was saying like boomers, boomers. Yeah. Like one time I was singing the song and this lady like was on her phone looking up "Chode the world." I was like,
that's so funny.
Great.
You should, in the future now, you should have like a little screen that gives the definition.
That gives the definition.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, totally.
I have to look up a lot of things that people, where I'm like, this is funny. I know why this is funny. Yeah, I know what SMH stands for.
Yeah.
Yeah, smack my halloumi. So stupid.
Totally.
Yeah, chode. Okay.
Chode, yeah.
That's so cute. So she says toads.
Toad, yeah. She's like, choke on 1,000 toads. I like barely ever use. She's more unintentionally fun. Like I never have used her pitches before.
My mom will do stuff like she'll like be like insult me kind of, and then she'll be like, I'll be like, that was kind of mean, and she'll be like, oh, look at you, aren't you a comedian? You're supposed to have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
What? But that doesn't count for mean shit.
Wait, that sometimes that'll happen too. Where like my family, like we're all because they're like throwing jokes back at me. I'm like, wait, I'm really sensitive, and that actually kind of hurt. And they're like, what? You're the comedian. Shouldn't you be like taking this? I'm like, no, I'm actually really soft on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People. Okay, so never call us a chode.
Yeah. Never DM us that we're chodes.
Yeah, never.
Yeah.
You can always DM us, though.
I know. I've been DM'd worse, but don't call us chodes. Yeah.
That'd be such a funny insult. Also, my mom listens to this podcast, so thank you for teaching my mom the word chode.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
If anything came out of this combo.
That was important.
Yeah.
Very important. So do you if people ask you where are you from, you would say you're American, right?
Yeah, I would say the Bay Area, San Francisco.
Right.
Yeah.
So like not America. It's the Bay Area.
Yeah, from the Bay Area.
Is it? Would you say free the Bay Area?
I would say, yeah. God bless the Bay Area. Yeah, that's what I.
So how did you find? So were you always making people laugh? Is it one of those stories with comedy where people are like, you have to do comedy, you should be on SNL? Stop saying that to people that are funny, because everybody says that. Or was it like you were like quietly knew that you were hilarious and then unleashed it?
When I was a kid, I think I was like a more outgoing kid. So I was trying to make my family laugh, and I was always trying to make my friends laugh. But then I think I kind of toned it down. But oh my God, sorry, I'm a top.
Cheers.
Prost. Oh my God, sorry. But
I love that. That's the first time we had a live burp.
You know, a Japanese ritual. It's okay to burp after you eat ramen, so that's why I did that.
Ramen.
Yeah.
No, I thought you were like joking. It's ramen.
But also, it's okay to burp after you eat a dick. It's polite.
Okay, great.
But when I was a kid, I would like put on plays for my family. Then I kind of like suppressed it a little bit, but I would be really funny and outgoing to my one group of like theater friends. I would like be funny to them. But I think I like rediscovered like a love for it when I did improv, and like I was like, oh, this is so much fun, and it's like, and stand up. And then I think it was something I was like quiet. I was like, I didn't even know that one could pursue this and do this and it's like I didn't know that it was a craft.
Right.
I just thought someone was really funny and they just like did it.
Yeah.
But it's like, and then to realize like, oh, this is like an art form that you really like hone in on and craft and develop
and can get better at.
That's something that I really was interested in.
And did you always incorporate music from the get-go? Because it's like scary, right?
Yeah, I didn't, because like at first I was just doing like stand up and it was okay, and then at the Creek in the Cave they have the piano, and it got a bigger response than any of my jokes ever fucking did. So I was like, maybe I should just double down on this. Now it's mostly what I do.
Yeah, because I can imagine that, because like, you know, I think the comedy world in a lot of ways is also a very boxed. It has very box thinking a lot of times, right?
Yeah,
and like in the stand-up world, it's like, well, that's musical comedy. That's not stand-up.
Totally.
It's like they're over there, and then that's improv over there.
Totally.
So I can imagine that it must have been like scary to come to a comedy show with all stand-ups. And be like, because when you do shows where there's no piano or no keyboard, you have like a backing track.
Totally.
Right? So I guess that must have been scary to do the first time.
Yeah,
you know?
It was like a big swing. It's a big swing because it's like harder to like eat it when you're like, I'm going to the piano now and I'm literally doing a huge I've dress drop on the floor and it's like it's harder. But there's a part of me that kind of likes, I love when I see people do big swings and big triumphs and big misses. I really like that. And
so that's like a thrill for you?
Yeah, a little bit.
I love that.
But it was a little, and because there was an attitude a little from stand-ups like, this fucking bitch banging his piano on stage. But I also found it could be a little benefit because sometimes it's like a break from like the regular, whether or not like for better or for worse. So I think.
Yeah. Oh my God. Totally. I know that like, you know, I used to do a lot of characters, and then every time I would be like, I'm doing this in this fucking all stand-up show, and then I'd like bring my little wig and my teeth and my glasses, and then be like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna do it, you know. And then when you do, it always feels good, but it's like you have to
make that leap to be like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah,
and fuck it. Yeah, we'll see. Well, I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
So you recorded an album.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's coming out on the 23rd.
Yes.
And it's called Rape Victims Are Horny Too.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's a album I recorded with my friend Kelly, and it's like musical comedy songs and jokes we wrote about healing from rape trauma, and we're really proud of it. We're releasing it. We have a show the night before at Union Hall. It's like a release party, and it's getting released on the 23rd. And
where did you record it?
At Caveat.
And you've been working on this show for a
long
years,
time,
right?
for like since 2019 when we met.
Wow.
So we've been like working on this show.
How did it kind of happen that you guys were like, we should make this funny?
Oh my God. So I was at an open mic bombing with my rape jokes, and she was at an open mic bombing with her rape jokes.
Impossible.
We looked across the room and we were like, we should do an hour of this. And that's how the writing process began.
I love it.
But we really started to like hone in on what we thought was funny, what should be sincere, and we're really proud of where it's come now. It's like in a much like more honed in kind of better space than it was just a year ago.
That's, I mean, again, that's a huge swing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's also like a huge. Before like our first show, we were like, okay, we're doing this. Let's do it. Yeah.
Because there could be people that would be like actually angry.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you had that?
Yes, yeah, we have had responses of, because we get it, like it can also be triggering for people who and it's like, this is our way of like coping, and like this is our way of like that we like to laugh and to like be sincere, and like that's our way, and sometimes sometimes people are not ready for that, or that's not their way of coping with it. So like they have gotten it, and I think that's valid. I'm like, yes, you can totally we're still gonna do this.
I'm just laughing because I'm picturing like after the show, you have like an usher who's like, angry people this way, people who are feeling good and happy this way. And there's like a room, like a padded room where they can all be like, fuck!
It's like, we're like, we can take one question one yell at a time.
You're like in a cage.
We're
so
in
they
a
can
cage.
throw shit at you. Oh, God.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess that's kind of what you want, right? Anyway, I think like for me, I'm always the most scared of people being like, that was okay.
Yeah.
What you did.
Sure.
Like I'd rather, although it hurts, but I'd rather have people hate it and be angry than be like, that was pretty. It's like horrible when people are like, oh, you were pretty funny.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh,
yeah.
No.
Yeah. I totally.
Oh, were you on the show? Oh, yeah, you were pretty funny. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'd rather you be like, you were the worst part of this show.
Yeah, totally.
I got a 1-star review once in Edinburgh for my show.
Oh my God.
And she said in the article, she said, I didn't laugh once. And I put it on my poster the next year because I was like, that's a compliment.
That's a compliment. It's like people who are trying to do comedy that's funny nowadays, get over yourselves. Jesus. What are you doing?
Seriously. And also, like, if you managed to like have somebody hate you so much that they sat somewhere for an hour and didn't laugh once, you laugh when you watch Hitler. I'm more terrifying and horrible.
But I also find that with myself of like, either people are like, with not just like the show that me and Kelly do, but like with just my regular comedy of like, yes, or like there's like an incel looking like he's about to like just like
shove a toad,
like do a Columbine situation. Oh, no. Sorry, cut that. We'll cut that. Can we cut that?
No, we're keeping it.
Okay.
That'll be the trailer.
Yeah, but it's either that one or the other. Yeah. I had a guy literally look like that on my set yesterday. There's like people like woo, and then him like,
oh God,
looking like crazy.
Is that in life too, though? Do people love you or hate you?
Yeah. I don't know. Online, I don't know if this is something that everyone experiences, but
I think so.
I think yeah. Some people are like really about it, and some are like during the I did it like a video of like a backflip in front of Universal Studios.
That went viral.
But oh my God, the DMs were like faggot clown, faggot clown, and I'm like, well, yeah, I am a gay comedian, so you're just kind of saying my profession. But it was crazy. One guy commented. white people think they can do anything, and someone commented, "Bestie, he's Asian. Delete this." And then he was like, "Okay." And then he deleted it. I'm like, King, the follow through. I love this.
I love he replied okay, and then
he was like, okay,
it.
And then he deleted it.
Oh my god.
He was like, I hate him too, but he's Asian, so like let's hate him for the right reasons, you know?
Yeah, get the racism
get the
right.
race right, you know?
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah.
And you also have a show on TikTok coming out, or did it come out?
Yeah, it already came out, but I haven't.
Yeah, it came out. I said that.
It already came out of the closet, but I have another solo show at Littlefield August 29th, just running my own hour. So.
Just doing 9 shows at a time, just as we do it. Dylan, I always ask my guests if they have any like sayings or proverbs or anything they grew up with that they love. Do you have anything that your mom or your
Obachan and Oji-chan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do like, there is I have a couple things. Can I say a couple things?
Yeah.
I love like when me and my brother would sometimes complain, my mom would be like, monku, 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 which means like complaining in Japanese. And it would be like something that would like, sorry.
No, please go. Please. You have to do one more now at some point.
The rule of 3s, exactly.
Exactly.
But just as like a way to calm us down, but also something that a song that my mom loved that she would play for me and my brother was when we would complain, you can't always get what you want. You can't. It's like, and we were like, ugh, I guess you're right, Mom. But that's something that it's like, yeah.
Wait,
like,
so your mom would play music to say what she was trying to like
drill into our head.
She was trying to get
and she would sing it in our face. She'd be like, you can't always get what you want.
So that's like double effective because it's a message and you also want her to stop singing, so you'll never do that thing again that makes her sing.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's a very nice way to get a message across.
Exactly.
To do it through music.
Yeah, she would do that a little bit. She always loved
instead of violence.
And yeah, exactly.
I just read about Ivana Trump's funeral, and they were like, and the speeches by Eric and Donald Jr. were about how tough and wonderful she was. And then they quoted the speeches, and it's literally them being like, yes, our mother was wonderful, and I will never forget the time she took me to the bathroom and spanked me with a wooden spoon for half an hour and said, and if you cry, we'll come back in here and do it all over again. I'm like, what the fuck?
Ivana.
This is all they had to say at her funeral. Imagine if that's what they're talking about at her funeral, how much she like beat them.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like they can't even not talk about that at the funeral.
I know. Damn.
Like my parents like maybe like spanked me like twice or something. I wouldn't need to bring that up at their funeral.
Yeah.
That that was an anomaly.
Yeah, totally.
Like they're like, oh yeah, my mom, she always beat us. The good woman.
Damn.
So the music, that's beautiful.
Yeah, the music was a.
I love that.
It was a
so
good way.
Cool. Okay, and last but not least, I have the Immigrant Jam Lucie Pohl questionnaire to see how deep your immigrantness runs. No, I don't know. It's the Immigrant Jam questionnaire.
Dope.
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready for it. I'm excited.
Okay. Dylan Adler, if you were casting a movie about the Statue of Liberty, who would you cast as the Statue of Liberty?
Oh my God. Michelle Yeoh would be the Statue of Liberty.
Yes, I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, if you could add one face to Mount Rushmore, who would you add?
Nicki Minaj's face.
I love it. Her face, not her ass.
I'd say one for the face and one for the ass. Just replace one of them.
Yeah, I love it. If you could add one amendment to the Constitution, what would you add?
I would add the amendment to. Okay, I would add the amendment that. Oh my God! Sorry. The amendment that when you sorry, like.
Do you have it formulated in your head?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying
Do you want to come back to it?
Yeah, I'll come back to that.
Let's come back to the amendment. If you were president of the United States of America, what food would you ban? American food.
Oh my God. I would definitely ban. I think I would ban Hot Pockets.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's not good for you.
It's not good for you.
Yeah. Have you had one? I've never had one.
I have had one.
That's one of my American dreams, to eat a Hot Pocket before you ban them.
That's what I'll do when I become the prez.
Okay, I love it. If you could deport one American person, who would you deport?
Oh my God. Well, obviously Donald Trump, but I also think Mark Wahlberg. Oh, I would deport Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg?
100%.
Yes,
yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
Do you want to say why?
Yes, because he hate crimed a Vietnamese man when he was young, and also hate crimed like Black teenagers when he was young. And then later in life, he had the audacity to demand forgiveness from them. It's like, forgiveness works how they forgive you when they're ready.
Yeah.
And you don't demand it from them, bitch. And so
bye, Mark Wahlberg.
Mike Wahlberg. Yeah.
That would be a good way to fuck with him anyway. Get everybody to say his name wrong.
Yeah, Mike Wahlberg. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. Mike Wahlberg, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, his ego would be so hurt.
It would be.
But goodbye, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
You know, 2 people have said Michael Rappaport on this podcast.
Oh, who's that?
Well, there you go. You've just fucking canceled.
I don't know her. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do the amendment?
Yeah, the amendment.
Okay. I
would say all Mark Wahlberg films cannot be watched anymore. And whenever someone sees Mark Wahlberg, you have to punch him in the face. That's like an amendment I would love to add.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
No matter how old you are.
No matter how old or young you are.
And if you have no arms,
then you have then
fucking be creative.
Be creative. And so basically that's the amendment. And if you don't follow the amendment, consequences are severe.
Okay.
If you don't
I
punch
love it.
them.
Mike is bored.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Dylan, you already told me your favorite Japanese word, basically, right? Which was what was it? Don't complain?
Monku monku.
Monku monku.
Yeah, which means complain. Like, it's like when little kids complain, it's like monku monku.
Monku monku. That's a great, it sounds like a fun word for a kid.
It is a fun word to say.
Yeah.
I named my little monkey that I had monku.
You had a
monku
monkey?
I had a little like toy stuffed animal monkey.
I was like, wait.
I named
you buried the lead.
My culture. I grew up with no, just kidding. I grew up with just stuffed animal.
Okay, and I have to ask you one other question, and it might be hard. It might be, I don't know. I'm just gonna answer it. I ask it, okay?
Yeah, totally.
Dylan, do you know how I can meet David Hasselhoff?
Oh my God, I'd say a DM, maybe like
a DM.
A DM.
That's a popular answer.
Yeah, DM. But I would say if you do some deep diving, you could find where he lives.
Yeah, I think Malibu.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he lives somewhere in LA, Beverly Hills or Malibu.
Yeah, and just go.
And I think it's absolutely
Have you ever met your heroes? A hero?
I have met a hero.
Who was it? Can you say?
I met an inspiration. Joel Kim Booster, who I met. I'd say I met Bowen Yang is I really want to meet Ali Wong and Margaret Cho. But music composition wise, one of my heroes was Alan Menken, who wrote Little Mermaid. You know. Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Little Shop of Horrors, Hercules.
My favorite. Little Shop of Horrors is my favorite.
Yeah, and
it's the best.
He's just such a prolific and incredible composer. And composer-wise, I got to meet him, and I was like, literally shaking.
And was he nice?
Very nice.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah.
It would have been a better story if you
really.
No, I'm kidding.
And he was a homophobe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Dylan, where can people find you?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Dylan Adler _, on Twitter at Dylan Adler 6, or on TikTok at Dylan Adler 7.
Ooh, yes,
So,
baby.
Yeah.
Follow Dylan. Also, we didn't even mention the fact that Dylan is a huge TikTok star, okay? And for all you people from the older generations, like my friends, TikTok is an app where people make little fun videos that are short and sometimes very informative. Mike's girlfriend is also a huge star on TikTok.
In my existence.
Follow Dylan. Go check out all of his shows. Don't DM him Chode.
Yeah, don't DM me Chode.
And go see his shows. Download the album. Buy the album. Do everything. Love Dylan. Dylan's the best. Thank you for being here, Dylan. We love you so much. You're the best.
Thank you so much for having me. You're the best. Thank you for having me.
You're the best. Thank you for everybody who listened to this episode of Immigrant Jam featuring the one and only Dylan Adler. Thank you to our superstar patron douchebag, Steve. My mother, who calls Patreon Pantreon. And Mike Albanese, the producer with the mostest.
Ooh.
And this rubber chicken and the studio and New York City. And we love you. Check out the Patreon. Please rate, like, subscribe, leave a review. It costs nothing and it means the world to us. We love you. Goodbye.
Mwah.
Mwah.
If you liked what you just heard, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, recommend to all your friends, and if you hated it, recommend it to your enemies. Thank you for listening to Immigrant Jam, the podcast with me, Lucie Pohl. Have a delicious and nutritious day.